Hey, 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 it's Shel Anderson from Shel's Creative Corner. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I blog at shelscreativecorner.blogspot.com, and I can be reached anytime by email at andersonshel@gmail.com. You can also find me on Pinterest, YouTube, and Facebook under Stamp with Shel. I'd like to thank you for joining me. Today we are going to have a play with a fun fold. And this is a card that I did last year at Christmas time. And I just found it the other day when I was going through some stuff. And I thought, you know, that's a really cool fun fold. And I don't even know what it's called. So we're just calling it a fun fold. But it's a very impressive card, but it's super easy to do. So I have revamped it with current products. We are going to be using the Color and Contour bundle for these two framelit dies. And we are going to, I tried to use the Ornate Frames dies, but it didn't work for this card. But I did steal a greeting from here. The greeting is my friend. Okay. So that's those two things, and I have the dimensions here. I'll just leave these. Let me make sure that I'm still in screen. I'll just leave these off to the side here. Actually, it's probably going to be better if I put it on the other side because this way it's not in my way. All right, I'll leave that off to the side there so that you can see those. And if you are so inclined, you can copy those down or take a screenshot. For my card base today, I have chosen the gorgeous, rich Blackberry Bliss. And this is 11 by 5.5, so that's a weird size. And we're going to score this at 1 1/4, 5.5, and then, oops, we're going to have to flip this out. We're going to go over to 9 1/4. All right, so that's our scoring. We're going to put this away. And there's all our other little bits. Now, let me grab my catalog here. I'll show you on page 45 of the mini catalog. It's the Blackberry Beauty Suite. I'm using this paper, this gorgeous paper. One side's got foil on it. The other side is just beautiful prints. And I'm also using the Blackberry Beauty Ephemera Pack. Okay, I do not have this bundle, but I do have the paper, the ephemera, and the ribbon. I also have this, which is kind of weird, but that's just the way it is. Now, I'm going to grab a bone folder, and we are going to score this card. And this actually scores weird. So I want you to look at your cardstock, and you'll see that one side has a small side and one side has a wider side. So I want your small side over on the left-hand side. And you're going to fold that one towards you. Okay. Then we're going to fold this one towards you. And you're going to want to burnish these folds really good. And the last one is going towards the center. So this is what your card is going to look like, which is kind of weird, I know. But believe me, it's going to be beautiful when we are done. Let me see, I think I just did that wrong. I did. There we go. I lied to you. this is what your card is going to look like. So your wide side on the right is going to go back towards the middle and towards the middle. Okay? So we're just going to burnish all of those scores nice and flat. And then this is how our card's going to go. Okay? So it's kind of like a waterfall here on one side. Now, for these papers, I have chosen some of these Blackberry papers. So this is going to be our main piece, which is going to go here. All right, and these pieces will fold over. So I'm just going to grab some Tombow, and we will get this put down on the front of our card. We're just going to center that up as best we can. A nice border around there. Isn't that rich looking? All right, so now we need to put something on this panel, and I have chosen this neutral one just to break up the darkness of the of this card. I love these papers, but they seem to be on the rich dark side, so I just needed something to break that plane a little bit. And same thing, we're just going to center that up. And the last one we have is this little flap here, but just to make it easier, I'm going to open this card up so that I can easily add my last strip. And all of these papers are from that Blackberry Bliss paper pack. And if you stick around till the end of this video, you will get to see another card with this fold, as well as the card that I made last year. All right, see how that's happening? Now, I didn't cut a piece for the inside of my card. Heavens. Let's get a paper trimmer in here. And it should be, where are we at? 4 by 5 1/4. So there's 4. And it's already 5 1/4. That's nice. All right, so I had a couple of extra pieces left over. I could put that on there so easily, but I could also put on this piece of gold. However, the gold is not quite long enough. But there's nothing saying I can't cut this card down. So let's do that, because I want to use that piece of gold. I think that's gorgeous. So we're at 4 3/4-ish. I think that's going to work. Let's see. Yep. So to make this card symmetrical, if we're at 4 3/4, we need to be 3.5 inches wide. There we go. So we will just make it work with the scrap that we have. And I'm going to pop this on here, and it's going to be a beautiful place to write our greeting. That little scrap was too pretty to toss in the scrap bin. I wanted to use it. And I'm just going to trim off that wee little bit. All right. Make sure I got this all going right and put this on the right panel. So we're just going to open this up and center this as best we can on this inside panel. All right, so this is how our card is going to look on the outside, and it's going to open like that. Isn't that pretty? All right, we're going to set that aside, and we are going to work on our belly band. So this is the strip that I cut off the side. This is 1 1/2 by 11. And I didn't have an 11-inch strip of this, but I think this is going to work. This is 1 1/4 by whatever length I had. And I am just going to use some Tombow and glue this in the center. Actually, I'm going to glue it towards one end. I'm going to go something like that. All right. We're going to let that set up for a minute. Oh, I suppose I shouldn't put that on there. And then we're going to bring in all this glittery goodness. So here are the frames that I cut from the Color and Contour bundle. And I'm going to layer this like so, right on there. And I am going to use some tape runner to put this on, because if you get glue on foil, it is impossible to get off. So this gives me an easier, just makes me feel a little bit more secure because I know that there's not going to be any seepage. So there's that. And I have some of this ephemera from the Blackberry Bliss ephemera pack. Now we could go like that, super easy. We could go like that, super easy. Or, no, that one's too big. We can't use that one for this card. So we have to decide. And I took the greeting and I just stamped it on this little tag that was in that ephemera pack. I'm going to put that across whichever one I choose. So we can go that way. Oops. Or we can go that way. I think I'm going to go with the daisies. I really like these daisies. They are very, very, very stinking delicate. So we're going to have to be careful. I'm just going to clip my tweezers on here and add, if I can get it started, I'm going to add little wee dots of glue. All right, now I'm going to set this something like that. Isn't that pretty? I know you're getting lots of reflection from the lights, but this is gorgeous. All right, I'm going to grab some mini dimensionals to put on the back of this tag. All right, now I will peel off those little backers that keep it and uncover the adhesive so I can stick this on the tag. Now, if you didn't have this ephemera pack, or if you were using this card design for another card, you could use an oval, a square, a circle for your shape for the front. Oops, don't want to put it on upside down. I'm going to go something like that. Man, that's pretty. Okay, we're going to set that aside for a minute. And we're going to bring our card and our belly band back in. So we're going to go something like this. Now, the thing when you're doing belly bands, don't score them and expect that they're going to fit, because they won't. Every time you'll be wrong. I always just take it, center my card where I want it, flip it upside down, and then just bend it around the card. Okay, bend it around, and you see there's a little bit of play in there. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Just support your card and bend it around, and you'll see that we have overlap. That's intentional. All right, now I'm going to take it off and take it over to my bone folder and give it just a light little press, just so that it's doing the right thing. So now I'm going to overlap it like this, and this is going to give me a nice place to put some adhesive. It's going to be hidden out of the way. And I'm actually going to put a little bit on here as well. And then we will just put the two together, line them up, and I like to back it off just a titch and then give it another press, because you want this to be able to slide up and down your card. So we will take this and slide this on our card. If I can get all the pieces lined up here. There we go. So there's our belly band, and then this needs to get attached to the belly band. Now, if you want to attach it to just the bottom, you can do that, but this one is a little flimsy because it is gold foil and not cardstock. So I'm going to do it in the middle. So I'm going to kind of slide my belly band up somewhere near the middle. Okay, and then actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it right off the card again, because I don't want to get glue on it. All right, so let's flip this over and just use a pencil. Grab a pencil and do not go above that and do not go below that. So this is where we can put our adhesive safely in this area. Okay, now watch this. I'm going to flip this over. Instead of trying to figure it out from the other side, I have a visual. So I'm just centering this side to side and staying within those marks that I made. And then I'll just press this into place. Okay, that's just going to give us that little extra minute of drying time there. And now I'll be able to slide this whole piece. Whoops. Don't want to disturb it because that glue's not quite set yet. I'll be able to slide this whole piece back on our card. And there we have it. Now you could, if you're not using foil paper or foil, you can easily embellish that with some rhinestones and some ribbon. This card, in my opinion, needs nothing else because this is far over the top with all that gold glitter or gold foil and the foiling on the paper. So there is our, I can't even talk this morning. There is our card that we just made. And as promised, I'm going to bring in two more to show you. This is one I made earlier this morning with this same paper pack, which is less glitzy, but just as beautiful. I used these two papers here, have just no foiling on them. They're just plain, but aren't they beautiful? Nice fall paper. And then this one has just a little wee bit of gold foiling on it. And when you open it up, I continued that same paper because it was just a little leftover strip on the inside. And then on the belly band, I chose the same color as the card base, the Early Espresso. Well, sir, that came off. There, it has to go back on. There we go. I chose the Early Espresso for the belly band, and then I chose the raspberry from these flowers. Now, I could have embossed that, but I just left it plain because there's a lot going on this card. And then this little frame was in the ephemera pack, and I just mounted it on a piece of cinnamon cider, which is this color here. Stamped the greeting, and that was from The Love of Leaves. I thought of you today. That's in the annual catalog. And then this owl is actually in the ephemera pack. Okay? So there's the second card. And this is the one that inspired all this craziness. This is one that I made last year at Christmas time. I think it was last year. It could have been the year before. I just found this when I was cleaning today. And this one, I don't even know what stamps or what papers I used. But when I was cleaning the other day, I found this. And it's just, as you can see, a stitched oval and then a scalloped oval for the greeting. The belly band matches the card base, and then there's just DSP on there. And we flip this off, and this one opens same way. Isn't that pretty? So there we have it. There are our 3 fun folds. I have no idea what it's called, so I really don't know. If you would like to take a screenshot of this, I will hold it. Stand up so I can see in the camera. There we go. I think you can take a screenshot now and get that all in there. I'll just wait a couple of seconds for anybody who's interested. All right, there you have it, my friends. 3 gorgeous, gorgeous fun folds. And I hope you create some yourself and share them with me. I would love to see what you make. All right, I'm out for now. See you soon. Bye-bye.